Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I wanted to discuss why you should attend Bronco Off-Rodeo. Even if you don't have a Bronco yet, I think they're opening up to the public soon. So if you're interested and you want to learn about how the Bronco works off-road, you should definitely attend. So I went in September. Unfortunately, I was just by myself, so I didn't have somebody to help film a little bit. So a lot of photos and a few short clips that we'll go over, and I wanted to discuss why it's valuable and why I think you should attend Bronco Off-Rodeo. All right, to start, I attended the Bronco Off-Rodeo in Las Vegas because it's closest to Reno. So when you first get there, you'll pull up to a sign, they'll load you up in a van and they'll take you up to the clubhouse. You'll go over some rules, they'll hand you out a swag pack with a water bottle and things like that. You can kind of check out their clubhouse, which is pretty cool, and pin where you're from. And then they'll go over a stationary Bronco and some of the features that you'll learn about later on in the day. So the first part of the day is going over some of the features. It's very basic of what the Bronco is capable of. In this video, you can see that we're going over the trail turn assist. Now, some more hardcore off-roaders might not like some of the very basic fundamentals of how the Bronco works, but I think it's worthwhile to see some of the tech and how some of the features apply in real-world use. So once you get the basics done, you start hitting the trail with the instructor. He'll follow you along the whole day. He jumps in one of the Broncos with you, and he'll be your guide throughout the whole day. It's pretty cool too, because in certain spots they have a professional photographer hiding in the bushes, and he'll take some pretty professional photos of you. After you've done some basics, they'll take you to lunch. And it just so happened that when I went, the clubhouse was closed, so they took us to lunch at the Raptor clubhouse. Of course, at the Raptor Lodge, I had to check out the Raptor they had on display on the rocks. It's quite a bit more articulation than the normal Badlands Broncos, so it's pretty cool to see. So the first half of the day is really like fundamentals of how the Bronco works. So like I said, it'll be pretty basic for somebody who already has off-road experience, but it's still worthwhile. They'll do a few trail runs and you'll slowly build into your experience with how to use the Bronco and all the features it has. After lunch, they take you up to one of the peaks at the site and kind of get an overview of the whole valley where you're at. And then they'll go over some more fundamentals going back down the hill. The guide will stay with you the whole day and walk you through functions of how the Bronco works. It's a little slower pace because a lot of the stuff is rock crawling, and they have a very high emphasis on the crawl portion. They don't want you to slam and drop things. They have an additional insurance that you can pay for, but really, I don't know that you're gonna go fast enough or extreme enough that you need the insurance. They're okay with you scratching up the wheels and the sliders and things like that, but I don't think that you'll need to buy the extra insurance if I did it over again. Now, I'm sure anybody who has a Jeep just thinks this is like child's play. However, for a stock Bronco, I don't really think the videos and the photos I took did it justice. Some of these obstacles are pretty large, and for a stock vehicle on the 35s, that they claim are 35s, the Bronco is extremely capable, and I was really impressed. It gave me a lot more appreciation for how well the Bronco Badlands operates off-road. So at the end here, this is pretty fun. You crawl up to a portion where you put a couple of wheels in the air, and then the instructor will come over and start tilting the vehicle up and down, kind of give you a little ride to show you what it's like when you have a couple tires hanging in the air.
Yeah! All right, like you got it?
So throughout the day, you do several canyon runs, and a lot of them are washes with pretty large rocks in them. And as long as you stick the the tire on the rock, it's actually pretty impressive how much ground clearance and how capable the Bronco Badlands are. A couple of these weren't Badlands models, but they all had the Sasquatch package on them. And they still, you know, everywhere we go, climb just fine. They all have front lockers. One of the things they'll teach you is, you know, use the front locker very sparingly, which is pretty interesting because I think a lot of the videos you see online of people snapping the front tie rods, it's because people just lock the front and throttle down, which is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to just barely use the locker and turn it off as soon as you clear the obstacle. So at the end, I mean, this obstacle doesn't look like much from the camera angle, but it's a little steeper than it shows. You'll finally crawl through all the final washes, and then when you exit out, they'll take you back to the clubhouse, and then they'll have dinner for you as well, and the dinner was really good. So it's definitely worthwhile to go, especially if you don't have any experience off-roading. So I'm really glad I attended the Bronco Off-Rodeo because now I have a much better appreciation for my green Bronco Badlands. If you saw my first impressions video, you can tell that I was a little let down with some of the things, and it wasn't quite what I had expected it to be, and at least what Ford had marketed it to be. However, after attending the Off-Rodeo, I'm pretty happy with the Bronco. It's very capable, and there are a lot of great things about it. Now, having said all of that, if you notice in the title, it says that I sold my Bronco. So I did sell my Bronco, even after all of that, having much more appreciation and everything, and I got something else to replace it. If you're wondering what I got to replace it with, let's just head outside and I'll show you what I got. So if you haven't noticed by now, I sold my Bronco and bought another Bronco, but not just any Bronco, a Bronco Raptor. So the Badlands was good, but it didn't quite meet the expectations that I wanted. The Bronco Raptor, it checks those boxes. So I'll be doing a full review on the Raptor in a later video, so be on the lookout for that one. And until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.